Hello there, and welcome back to Let's Play Baldur's Gate. The last episode we have just killed the orc or half-orc priest named Mulahay, who has been responsible for the iron shortage, well, partly because he and his kobolds have been poisoning the iron in the mines here in Nashkel. And, well, we have killed him and solved that problem, but it also seems like he's been involved in a larger plot that also involves somebody orchestrating some attacks on the roads by some bandit or mercenary organizations. And the name that we have is Tazok, and it seems like that Tazok has a... Oh, we have been attacked by a grey ooze. Let's take care of that. And it seems like Tazok has an informant named Tranzig, who is staying in Baragast. So we are on our way to Baragast to speak with this Tranzig fella. And, well, I guess it's going to be more than speaking. I'm just going back now, trying to discover this little patch in the middle here, but I don't think I will be able to. So, yeah. There is an exit here, so let's go out there. We don't want to be here anymore. Yes, I know. Okay, we are topside. Seems like we are somewhere. We are in an area west of or east of Nashkel. I almost get those two things mixed up. So we are in an area east of Nashkel, and we haven't been here yet. So this is new things to us. We have been attacked by a bunch of gnolls.
Speak and be gone. I will show you justice.
Ouch.
Let's talk about who. Let's do this quick and painless. You point, I punch.
You're a clear fellow.
Okay.
Let's talk Ricky Will gets the kick.
So the gnolls have been taken care of. Unfortunately, the battle music will not stop, so I'm going to reload as usual.
Will gets the kick.
That's the sort of thing that irritates me. So I'm going to go ahead and do something about it. While we are here, we might as well explore this area. Although I think I will go ahead and rest for now, because Seville has run out of healing spells, and we have a bunch of items to identify. Oh, one of Minsk's swords has broken, so he only has 2 left now. That's fine, I guess. We'll need to keep that in mind. Let's also replenish these arrows. And yeah, as I said, I'm going to rest.
Whatever they need.
I think I might go ahead and use all identify spells this time. Okay, here we go. So now Dynahair can identify up to 6 items, and I want to see which ones I'm most interested in. I think all the magical items are in Imoen's possession now, so we'll go with this sword. Might as well identify these as well. This boot and this ring. And I have one more. So I can go with this shield or this short sword. let's go with the shield. So, this is a +2 longsword called Varskona. Blades of this type were lost and were long used by Sharon priests during the sacrificial rites of Feast of the Moon ceremonies. Legends say that when she passed on, the remains of this sword's wielder were mummified and the blade was placed within her chest as a symbol of power. In the first stage of a long forbidden ritual, she was to have been exhumed in a season, born again in some new form. Unfortunately, cult wars killed the few that knew of her existence. Her tomb became a prison where she was forgotten, and there she developed a rage that bordered on insanity. I thought she was dead, but it seems like that didn't exclude her mummified corpse from developing a rage, I guess. Her grave was eventually found, but it was deserted and gave no indication to her whereabouts. Some venture to say that her anger was so concentrated that she became one with the very blade of her weapon. Regardless, after hundreds of years surrounded by a constant hate, the sword harvested a power of its own. It is now exceedingly deadly in combat, and indeed, it is a +2 weapon, which is excellent, and an additional bonus to that is the +1 cold damage that it does, other than the usual 1d8 +2 that other +2 longswords do. And the only one in the party who can wield a longsword effectively is Imoen, so I'm going to give it to her. And let's see what this is. This is a Wakizashi +1, which is, I think, a weapon that maybe Rasad can use. Let's see. His weapon proficiencies include Scimitar, Wakizashi, Ninjato, 1 point. So yes, he can effectively use this weapon, although he is, I think, better with his fist. This one does have a better taco, 1 point better taco than his fist, and also 1 point better damage than his fists, and also his AC rises by 1 because he has single weapon proficiency, but he only has 1 attacks while wielding this sword, otherwise he has 1.5 attacks. So I think, for now,
Your wish?
I will switch to his fist, and only use this sword when we need to kill something that is immune to normal weapons, like a vampiric wolf. Let's see, what other things do I have here? We also have this wand, which is a wand of frost, and it summons a column of ice, which does a lot of damage, so we'll keep that. Let's see this ring. This is an honorary Ring of Soon, also known as the Ring of Holiness. Rings of this type were given to faithful priests of Sunni, who demonstrated actions of astounding integrity and kindness. And its abilities is that while you are wearing it with one of your priests, you can memorize 1 additional spell from level 1 to level 4 spells. So we are going to give that to Savil, who will wear it, and this means that he can identify 1 more of level 1 spells and 1 more level 2 spell, which I think I might give into Slow Poison. And he cannot yet use level 3 spells, that's for the next level, level 5. Let's see what else. This shield is a small shield +1. Unfortunately, nobody in the party except Savil uses shields, and druids can only use bucklers, not small shields, so I think we will just sell this one for now. And the last item that I'm going to identify right now is this pair of boots called Talus's Gift, the Boots of Grounding. Untold years ago, the fortress of the Starspire Peninsula was placed under the direct torment of Talos when a favored storm herald was murdered there. Talos promised the destruction of the city by earthquakes, its isolation by tidal waves, and the death of its citizens by storms. One pair of these boots was bestowed to ensure that none but a single man would survive to tell the story of this wrath. Later, travelers seeking fortune in the ruined city came upon an aged man, maddened by the continuous destruction around him. The boots he wore would carry to many a distant land the legend of a city consumed by a god's rage. And indeed, it gives electrical resistance, which makes sense if you are going to try to survive Talos's stormy rage. Let's give that to Minsk for now. Okay. So that's it for the identification spells. So let's move on now. It's night time, but that's okay. We can just move on and try to
your end shall be quick if you let it.
Explore this map at night. So a woman by the name of Lamalha has approached us. She says, "You there, is your name Seville? Hurry up and answer. Your answer better be the truth, for your life depends upon it." Lighten up, girl, we are not going to tell you our names, so why don't you and your little Amazons wander back to wherever you came from? Yes, my name is Seville, what of it? And the third answer is, no, that isn't my name. I think you have the wrong person. I think I will go with number 3. Seville is not going to put on this big show here, but he isn't stupid enough to tell people his name when he's been, you know, we had some bounty hunters in the past, and he knows that's not the best idea to tell people your name, especially strangers, when that's the case. You lie. Remember what I told you about lying. You were foolish to even try, as my god Cyric allows me to see through all falsehoods. Now you shall now die, Seville. You will never interfere with the Iron Throne ever again. We haven't heard about this Iron Throne yet, but it might be related to us killing Malahai. We have yet to see that, but we will surely keep this name in mind. Okay, so now we have at least 2 people, and there may be more in the fog of war here who are trying to kill us. These 2 are both spellcasters and are very dangerous, so I'm going to go ahead and try to attack this one for now.
Give me some direction.
Let's see, what can I do? Maybe I could cast a web spell. That sounds like a good idea. One of them shall be attacked by Dynahair's spell.
I am prepared.
I think Rassad will stay over here. In fact, he might use his ability as well. Minsk and the Dorn, you go on to the back here, and Imoen, you go on and attack her. Ouch. Okay, so Dynahair and Dorn are both in kind of a big trouble. Let's see. Let's put another web spell over there. Let's see.
I shall commit to the task.
I will go ahead and use that on him or her. Okay. So far this looks okay. Let's hope it stays this way and doesn't get worse. Okay.
Your wish? I am prepared.
Ouch.
I look for. I
Oh,
understand.
you stay there. Okay, I think we have this one won. Probably.
Stricken pain. Scream for mercy.
Oh, Seville has been poisoned. I will try to cast his own spell on him. And it worked. And now we have only one left, named Telka.
Yeah.
And our spells have worn off.
Cool one.
I'm going to drink a potion and then go off with Seville.
Your wish? Silune guides my hand.
And they are all
Your
dead.
point, bowl plate, and packing steel.
Dorn has leveled up.
Less talk, more fight.
Let's see. Yes, Dorn has leveled up for sure. The other people are not quite so close. Okay, so let's save. And first, let's go and heal Dynahair. Oops. No, one more. Let's heal Dorn as well. Those web spells were very useful, by the way. I don't think we would have survived without them. Not on the first try, anyway.
Speak and be gone.
I didn't want to be too, you know, metagamey and surround them with different abilities and spells and whatnot before we even got there. I sometimes do that when I play on my own, but for the sake of this playthrough, I try to be, you know, a little more, well, I guess, less min-maxy, if I should put it that way. Okay, so Dorn has leveled up. He has gained 10 hit points and 1 taco, and or 1 taco. Taco? I'm not sure how to say it. I don't even know if there is a established way to say that word. He has also gained some 1 point to each of his saving throws, as well as a weapon proficiency, which we cannot put into two-handed swords, since he already has 2 points, and only fighters can put more than 2 points, and he's not a fighter. Also, he has 2 points in two-handed weapon style, which means we cannot put another point into that. So, yeah, all we can do is learn a new weapon style or a new weapon. And I think the most useful one here would be something ranged. Maybe longbow. That's one of the better weapons. Okay. So, yeah, that's it for Dorn. I'm going to go ahead and restore the difficulty to its original value. And now, let's loot.
Give me some direction.
Okay, let's open up that panel. And let's pick up everything we can.
I carry too much as it is. Your items on the
Alright, your inventory is full. Here we have another longsword, which kinda looks like a +1 longsword, but we haven't identified it yet, but it's probably that. And the potion of stone form, which gives you +3 to saving throws and sets your armor class to 0, but it also has the unfortunate side effect of -3 to dexterity. This is not one of my favorite potions in the game, because it's -3 to dexterity means your armor class will also be lowered, and that's not good. Potion of power, this gives you some taco and some hit points, and gives you bonuses to your thieving skills, but it's not at all very impressive, I should say. Okay, what else? Let's pick up this plate mail. We can just sell it.
You're a queer fellow.
Let's take this leather armor and these potions. Potion of magic blocking and fire burning. Fire burning is similar to a fireball spell. You can throw it and it will explode for some damage in an area. I think I'll sell that. It's not all that useful. Let's give these winter wolf pelts to Dorn. Okay. In fact, I'm going to store all my armors on Dorn there, as well as my winter wolf pelts. Okay, so what else? We have this other potion here. It's a magic blocking potion, immunity to all spells of level 5 or lower. It only lasts 5 rounds, so it's not the most useful spell. But I guess it's okay if you're going up against a mage and want some immunity for one of your party members who is going to tank the mage. Some arrows, which are the same as these arrows over here, and some darts. Yeah. Okay, so that's all the items that we have found.
waiting.
I'm going to go ahead and heal my guys here, because I'm going to rest again. I want to identify some of these items, so I might as well rest and let Dynahair identify them with her spells. Okay.
Do you seek enlightenment?
And Rasad is trying to enlighten me again. I'd like to know more about your search for the missing Sun Soul monks. Tell me about your training with the Sun Soul monks. Let's go with number 2, I'm interested in that.
My training at the Sun Soul Monastery began the moment the kindly monk brought Gamaz and me inside its walls. As you might imagine, there was a great deal of physical training. At first we were assigned chores and exercises. We looked with envy upon the older initiates who practiced combat techniques while we swept the stones and prepared meals for our seniors. The monks taught us to read and write, and why it is important to do both with careful thought. We practiced debate, studied history, and answered endless quizzes about the 9,000 mysteries of Selûne. We learned to meditate upon the moon, the shards, and the stars. We also learned to meditate on the darkness between them, for it falls to us to battle the servants of Selûne's dark sister, Shah. At last we learned to combine our learning, devotion, and physical prowess to project our inner light outward. With it, we combat the darkness inside or surrounding others.
Okay, we have 3 answers to all that. You must have been very good at it for the masters to send you on a mission to Anne. It all sounds pretty mystical to me. Why go to all that trouble when you can just pick up a sharp blade, call down the power of a god, or learn to cast a spell? Yeah, why go with the route of monk when you can pick pretty much any other route, which are well, easier and better for the most part.
Those may all be worthy paths, but we combine elements of each of them into one unified discipline. Gamaz was the first to teach me that.
I don't think that's quite true. Monks don't combine everything. I don't think they combine arcane spellcasting into their repertoire. Um, well, you could say that their special abilities are arcane, but I'm not quite sure that's established anywhere.
None of the other monks could defeat him in combat. Only I could come close, but each time victory was within my grasp, he swept it away with some spectacular strike. Even among the elder students, Gamaz stood as a pillar of tradition and excellence. His death is a great loss, not only to me as his brother, but also to the entire Order of the Sun Soul.
I'm sorry to bring up such a sad subject. Thank you for sharing it. It seems like you've learned a lot from your misfortunes. Now that the stories you should use when begging. Now that's the story you should use when begging. I almost want to give you money right now just to make you stop telling it. Aha, very funny. Oh yeah, let's go with, it seems like you've learned a lot from your misfortunes.
I thought it best that you should know my past, since we traveled together.
Sure.
What else can I tell you?
Yeah, maybe you should tell me about your search for the missing Sun Soul monks.
After discovering our fellow Sun Soul monks had vanished from their monastery, we felt the truth must lie behind the name Alagoth. We spread out in pairs to investigate further. Gamaz and I, used to life on Kalamport streets, searched for rumors on the streets of Atkatla. Much of our investigation took place at night, under the benign gaze of Selune. You see, although the sun shines more brightly, it is the moon that reveals the truths hidden in darkness.
Ah yes, very mystical.
One night, we witnessed several shadowy figures assaulting a lone man on the street. We raced to his defense. The Moon Maiden blessed us, and we drove off his attackers.
Uh-huh.
Despite our intervention, the man was gravely wounded. I remained with him, tending his wounds as best I could while calling for help. Gamaz, however, pursued the attackers. I shouted to him to come back, but he did not listen. Sometimes I wonder whether things would have been different if I had followed Gamaz instead of remaining with the wounded man.
Mm-hmm. No, you were right to remain with the injured man. Your order is dedicated to helping others, isn't it? Well, you did call out. It was Gamaz's choice not to come back. You let your own brother run off after dangerous attackers. Remind me never to have you watch my back. What happened next is the most straightforward answer and the least judgy one, so I'm going to go with that one.
I suppose it might have been worse had I gone with him. Still, I wish that night I could have been two men. One to remain with the injured man, another to go with my brother.
Yeah.
When help finally arrived, I ran after Gamaz. I found him only a few streets away. My brother had fought bravely, slaying 3 of his attackers before he was brought down. Once more, I cried out for help. Men came soon, but not to aid me. Instead, they arrested me for fighting in the streets, leaving Gamaz to die in a pool of his own blood. When the guards released me the following day, Gamaz had died. They said he had been slain by shadow thieves. The guards could not even give me his body, for they had burned it with those of the other dead men.
That's terrible. I'm sorry for your loss, Rasad. That's a shame, but at least you survived after helping the injured man. I bet you feel guilty about that, huh? Go on. This is a lot sadder than I thought it would be. I don't want to hear anymore. Yeah, that's a shame, but at least you survived after helping the injured man.
You are right to consider the good with the ill. Disheartened by the tragedy, my fellow monks returned to Kalamport. Gamaz and I had entered the monastery together, as brothers. I could not return without him. Neither could I remain in Atkatla, a city that forever holds evil memories for me. I traveled north. At first I thought I might visit the Monastery of the Sun in Waterdeep, which they called the City of Splendors. Yet I was in no hurry to arrive. Every day since entering the Order of the Sun Soul, I had striven to fill my heart with radiance, that I may share it with others. After Gamaz's death, I felt only the shadows of grief and despair.
So it sounds like that Rasad has been on his way up north when we stumbled upon him.
But perhaps I have dwelt too long on such memories. I wish to share my inner light with you, not my inner darkness. What else can I tell you?
That's all for now. We'll talk again later. So yeah, more of Rasad's backstory. It might seem strange that he has a backstory when most of the other characters in our group do not. But he's one of the enhanced edition NPCs, or one of the new NPCs added by the enhanced edition, I should say. And as such, he has some dialogue, while the original Baldur's Gate companions are not quite so wordy. Well, they were in Baldur's Gate 2, but back in Baldur's Gate 1 they did not have so much going on. Anyway, let's give these items to Dynahair and let her identify them. That's 5. Let's see, do I have anything else I want identified? I'll give these to Minsk. Yeah, we might as well identify this this stack of arrows. Okay, this is +2 arrows of fire. They are alright. We'll keep them on Imoen and use them when we go up against some more difficult foe. These are darts of wounding, which are quite powerful. They inflict a lot of poison damage and are very good against spellcasters if you are lucky and able to damage them and also poison them. So we'll put this, I guess I'll put it in Savil's inventory and use them when we need such a thing. This is a short sword +1. I would give this to Imoen, but she already has a long sword +2, so we'll stay with that. This is a leather armor +2. It's a usual leather armor which has 8 AC, but since it's +2, its AC is 6, which means it's very good for Savil, since leather armor is the best kind of armor he can wear. So we'll put it on him, and that will lower his AC by 2. And let's see, this is a studded leather armor +1, just the usual little studded leather armor. Imoen already has a +2, so I'm going to go ahead and sell that one. Nobody else wears leather armor, or studded leather armor, I should say. This is a longsword +1, which is +3 versus undead. Its name is Harrower, and the flavor text says, "This double-edged longsword gleams white even in the reddest of torchlight. The Dathek runes along its sides name the blade Harrower, a weapon once wielded by Ariabel, a Wardardavian paladin of Lathander, who once carried the weapon into combat against the vampire Zerafex and her host of unholy spawn. Ariabel did not survive the contest, but decades later, a gang of Thetherian tomb robbers recovered her sword from the crypt where she fell." And as the text up there said, it's a +1 sword that has a +3 bonus versus undead. It's okay, but you know, the +2 longsword that Imoen has is better for against most enemies, so we'll stay with that. And yeah, that's it. I'm going to go ahead and delete all of these memorized identify spell, except for maybe 1 or 2. Let's go with 2. Why not? And use magic missile as my other memorized first level spells. Okay, so that's it for now. And I think I will end this episode here, and in the next one we still have a lot of this area to explore, so I'm hoping I might be able to finish that in the next episode. For now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.